Hi everyone and welcome to today's session. This is an athletic development session. We're going to start off with a warm-up, take it onto a speed and power unit and finish up with a cool down. The focus for the strength and power component has now shifted to repeated efforts of powerful contractions and fast movements. So we want to build up our warm-up to match that intensity. So our warm-up today is going to be a little bit higher in terms of heart raising, and we're going to work on prepping for powerful movements. So the first exercise we're going to start with is one that we've been doing all along, and that's the breathing control exercise. So I'm not going to go through that with you. It is one that we've been working on from the beginning. And then you can take it on to the core bracing exercise. Again, one that we've been practicing from the beginning, so you should be quite familiar with that. After you've completed the breathing control and the core bracing, we'll move on to mobilizing and activating the muscles. So we're going to start off with a lunge T rotation exercise. And Keelan's going to demonstrate that for us here. So you're going to drop down into a lunge position, but with your arms supported in front and a flat foot in front. From here, you're going to keep the opposite arm of your front leg planted, and you're going to rotate to the side of your bent knee, opening up your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together, planting the hand back down, and alternating the foot position. So Keelan's going to bring the right leg back, left leg forward, and rotate to the opposite side. You're going to push the hips down, rotate, open up the chest, and you're going to perform this for about 6 repetitions, 3 to each side. If you're feeling a bit stiff, you can perform a few more. But focus on pushing the hips down to open up the hips, and focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together and opening up at the chest. 2 more reps. Get that switch. Good. Nice controlled movement, nice and slow to start with. We'll slowly build up that pace and power element. Once you've completed 6 reps here, you're going to keep that position on the floor and move into a push-up position. And again, we'll include that T rotation movement. So Keelan's going to push up. Good. Open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, rotating to the side. Good. Back down, perform the push-up, and then rotating to the side on the opposite side, squeezing the shoulder blades together again. Each rep that you do, you can perform it with a little bit more pace just to get that heart rate up, but maintaining that good control and focusing on opening up through the chest. Again, 6 repetitions. If you feel like you need to perform a few more, you can. And then you're going to stay on the ground for the next exercise, which is going to focus on activating through the core and the glutes. Last rep, Keelan. Perfect. Okay, dropping onto your knees, and we're going to transition into plank position. So plank position is one we've been working on all along, so a nice solid core here, straight line from shoulders to heels. Activate through the glutes and raise one leg straight off the ground. Slowly return and repeat on the opposite side. Take your time with this exercise. Focus on bracing through the core. You're activating through the core and through the glutes here. This time we're going to perform 10 repetitions here. You'll feel the heart rate going up a little bit more. Next exercise we're going to move to involves a jumping motion. So we're starting to build up the pace here and build up the power element. Take a short little rest after 10 repetitions. So Keelan, you can drop to your knees. Back to plank position, and we're going to perform the plank jacks exercise. So you're jacking the legs out and in here, keeping the core nice and strong, and still keeping those glutes engaged as you're performing this movement. Keep your neck nice and strong. Remember, any plank exercise, don't let the head hang. Keep your neck strong, core tight, and keep those glutes activated. 10 repetitions here. And pause it there. Perfect. Okay, Keelan, let's come on to the feet. Let's increase that power element and work on jumping. So Keelan, I'll get you out here for the touchdown jump. So we know the touchdown jump from previous sessions, but we would have performed it in the main element of the session, or main component of the session. Now we're going to use it for our warm-up. So Keelan, let's do a couple more reps there. Eyes straight ahead, touching down, exploding up, reaching the arms up and overhead. And remember, on the landing, nice soft landing. Absorb the force, bent through the ankle, the knee, and the hips. So just 10 repetitions there, and pause. Perfect. Okay, we're going to finish off our warm-up with a little bit of single leg work, and we're going to progress on the single leg hop exercise. So we're now going to perform a hop, hop, and stick. So before we would have performed the hop into the stick movement, now we're going to perform a double hop and stick. So again, Keelan, you're going to demonstrate that for us from the side. You're going to perform about 4 to 6 repetitions here on each leg on the hop, hop, and stick. So Keelan, let's see that again. Hop, hop, and stick. On that stick, you're bending down into it, sinking through the ankle, through the knee, through the hip. And if you're struggling with this, just take it back to that hop and stick. Focus on getting your stability right on that, and then progressing on to the hop, hop, and stick. Let's see that once more, Keelan. Nice quick hop, hop, and stick. Perfect. Once you've performed about 4 to 6 repetitions there on the hop, hop, and stick on each leg, we're ready for the main element of the session. This is the speed and power element of today's session. And with the focus now shifting on to repeated efforts with powerful contractions and fast movements, we're going to perform timed intervals. So due to the high intensity and interval style of this session, you are also going to hit the cardiovascular system, but the focus needs to remain on powerful, strong movements. So we're going to use an interval time here of 20 seconds on and 40 seconds off, and we're going to repeat an exercise for 4 rounds. If you find that that's a little bit too difficult, you're just going to decrease the number of rounds that you do, or take a little bit longer in between the reps of the exercise or the sets of the exercise. So the first exercise we're going to work on is the squat jump exercise, and just remembering that you're looking for powerful movements here first and then increased repetitions. So you're not trying to get as many reps in here as possible, you're trying to get as much power as possible. Once you've got good power and good technique, then you can increase the repetitions. So Keelan's going to demonstrate the squat jump here for us. It's big power on the movement. You're catching yourself at the bottom of the movement with bent knees, bent ankles, and bent hips, and exploding up. Once you've got good power in the movement, you can increase the repetitions by moving a little bit quicker. If you want to slow the movement down, you're just going to pause and stand, as you can see Keelan doing here. One more. Perfect. Okay, so you're going to go for 20 seconds on this. It is a good idea to have someone time you on these intervals. 40-second rest time just to let yourself recover. It might be tempting at the start to cut that rest time short and move on to the next round on the exercise. But when you're doing 4 rounds on this, it can become quite tiring. So slow it down, take your full 40 seconds, and you're ready for the next round. So you're going to perform up to 4 rounds on that squat jump, if you can, less rounds if you need. And then you're going to move on to the push-up exercise. So after the squat jump, 4 rounds, you're going to take about a 2 to 3 minute rest and then move on to the push-up. So Keelan's going to demonstrate the push-up here. Again, we're focusing on an explosive movement. So you're going to take your time with the drop on this movement and then explode up. So Keelan, I want you to slow down that drop a little bit more and explode up. Pause, slow down on the drop and explode up. Good. Continue that movement. And at home, you're going to be doing this for 20 seconds. Again, followed by that 40-second rest. And you're going to try to perform 4 rounds on that. Explode up, keep it nice and strong, slow it down. If you're struggling with it, speed it up if you can. And pause, good. Okay, so do your 20 seconds, take your 40-second rest, repeat for 4 rounds, 2 to 3 minute rest, and then we'll move on to the next exercise, which is a Spider-Man mountain climber. So we perform different variations on the mountain climber exercise. Now the Spider-Man movement challenges hip mobility and challenges the core to stay engaged as well. So let's pop down into that mountain climber position. And let's get into that Spider-Man movement, or position. Perfect. Okay, so you're exploding up and you're switching the legs, and the knee comes up as far as possible to the outside of the opposite elbow. Perfect. Okay, Keelan, I'll get you to pause there and rotate around and face forward just so we can see from a frontal view. Start in that nice strong mountain climber position, strong core, and explode and switch with that movement. Again, if you're finding it difficult, slow down the movement. Slow down that switch. If you can challenge yourself, make it a little bit quicker. And pause. Good. Again, 20 seconds on that, followed by a 40-second rest. And you're going to repeat that 4 times if possible. 2 to 3 minute rest. And then we'll move on to exercise number 4, which is the lunge jump. Okay, so particularly good one for conditioning the muscles for GA because of the single leg demand in GA and that explosive jump that we need in that split stance position. Okay, so Keelan will get you out here to demonstrate that, and let's face this direction. Perfect. Okay, so we've worked on the lunge a lot now, so we should have good angles on the lunge, get a nice explosive movement on the lunge. And again, you're going to perform this for 20 seconds, so it's quite demanding. Make sure your focus remains on a nice explosive movement. If you're struggling with this, just pause for a little bit longer in between each rep. And if you're really struggling with it, you can take a hop in between each exercise or in between each rep. Good. And relax. Again, form over repetition here, power over the repetition. So get your form right, get nice powerful movements, then you can move quicker. The final exercise that you're going to perform is the burpee exercise. So we have used the burpee before as a cardiovascular exercise to raise the heart rate up. That will naturally happen here, but we want to get a nice explosive movement from the burpee today. So Keelan, let's demonstrate that. So on the burpee movement, you're going to be explosive on the kick in and the jump up as well as that kick back. Good. Land with soft knees, jump back, explode up. Let's see a double leg kick back when you come back. Good. Okay, so double leg kick back, hands down, both legs back at the same time. Yeah. In, up, and explode up. Good. Make sure you've got soft knees on that landing. Good. And don't forget that kick back as well, Keelan. So when you come down, kick back, in, and explode up. That's it. Nice explosive movement. Jump as high as you can as if you're reaching for the ceiling. Good. Let's see one more on that. Perfect. Okay, so 20 seconds on that, followed by a 40-second break, 4 rounds, and then that's it for the session. Just a reminder that the heart rate will come up with this. Because of that interval, high-intensity style, you will get a heart raiser, you will hit the cardiovascular system, but the focus here needs to remain on powerful, fast contractions. We're now going to move on to the cool down. We're now going to take it onto a cool down stretch just to finish off the workout. Okay, so for the cool down stretch, you're going to hold each stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. And you're going to flow through a routine here from standing position down onto the floor and then back up onto the feet. Okay, so Henry, we're going to just start off with a stretch for the posterior chain, so along the calves, hamstrings, glutes, into your back, and we're going to stretch through the chest as well. So I'm going to get you to take your hands behind your back, interlock your fingers, and then you're going to pull your arms back to stretch through your chest. From that position, feet pointing forward, just about shoulder width apart, you're going to hinge forward at the hips and try bring your arms up as high as you can to the ceiling, so you're pulling your hands up to the ceiling and trying to keep your legs nice and straight on this. Good, so we're going to hold here for 30 seconds on each stretch, really pulling those arms up. And really exaggerate that pull of the chest. And as you hold this movement, try exaggerate that pull, pulling back through the shoulders, pulling the hands towards the ceiling. Good, so just holding for another 5 seconds, really exaggerating that stretch and just using a nice slow controlled breathing pattern here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, keeping that position, Henry, bring your hands down onto the mat. Good, you're going to walk forward. You're going to drop onto one knee, and you're going to bring the opposite foot forward, and we're going to take a hip flexor stretch here. Good, so you're going to lean forward, and what you're looking for here is a nice stretch on the front of the hip. If you're not feeling that stretch, you can just walk your front foot forward a little bit more. If you're too far back, you're not going to get that stretch, so your knee here in front doesn't want to come over the toes. You're going to walk it forward and hold that stretch.
Again, holding each stretch for about 30 seconds. If you can hold it for a little bit longer, you can go up to 45 seconds. Okay, let's keep that position, and we're going to take it now to the hamstring on the opposite side. So you're going to sit back, you're going to allow the toes come up towards you, and you're going to reach forward towards the foot. Okay, so as you're performing this stretch, you want to reach your hands towards the foot, but don't force the stretch and don't force any of these stretches. So just stretching to the point of tension and never pain on these movements. So you're just reaching towards that foot. If you can't reach the foot or the ankle, don't worry about it. Don't force the movement. So again, holding for about 30 seconds here, just helping these muscles to stretch out and kickstart that recovery. Good. Okay, Henry, you're going to switch legs. Opposite leg forward. You're going to push forward for that hip flexor stretch. If you're not feeling that, again, walk that front foot forward a little bit more. And just gently sitting forward. And let your torso come forward with you. You don't want to pull back on this movement. So just keep that spine neutral and hinge forward. Just trying to find that stretch on the front of that back leg. Again, using your breath, deep breaths into the nose, out through the mouth, remembering that that breath can help mobilize the joints and muscles. And sitting back for your hamstring stretch on this side. Again, reaching towards the foot, but not forcing the movement. If you can't reach the foot or ankle, just reach down along the leg as far as you can. If you find that the muscle is releasing out and you can reach a little bit further, take it that little bit further. And on each exhale, imagine that muscle relaxing. And relax. Perfect. Okay, let's face this direction for the next one, Henry. We're going to take it now to the inner thigh. Take your hands down in front. You're going to bring your left leg out to the side. Toes pointing forward. And you're going to press back, and you should feel this stretch along the inside of the left leg. If you're struggling to find that stretch, you're just going to walk the supporting knee out a little bit wider and gently press back into it. You can rotate through the torso and sink down into it if you want to find a little bit of a deeper stretch. Feeling that, Henry? Again, about 30 to 45 seconds. And you can switch legs. Good, okay, straight leg on the stretching leg. Sit back into it, try find that stretch along the inside of the leg. Again, if you're struggling to find that stretch, you can walk the supporting knee out a little bit more, or you can rotate your torso towards the supporting knee. Again, using your breath, relax the muscles on the exhale. Good. Okay, Henry, I'll get you to bring your hands to the front of the mat again. From here, you're going to lift onto your toes. Nice straight leg position. Walk back to a standing position. Trying to keep the legs as straight as possible. And we're just going to finish off. You can stay facing that direction, Henry. We're going to finish off with a quad stretch. So you're going to keep your supporting leg nice and soft on this. I want you to reach back, grab a hold of your foot behind, and pull your heel towards your back side. Now, as you're doing this, the supporting knee staying soft to stabilize. And pulling your heel nice and close to the back side. If your knee is out here in front, you're not going to feel that stretch. So pull it back in line with the opposite leg or back beyond it if you can. Also trying not to let that knee flare out to the side. So keep it centered, keep it pulled back, and hold that stretch on the quad. Again, 30 to 45 seconds, and switch it over. Soft supporting leg. Keep that balance. If you are struggling to balance here, you can just hold on to something and get that stretch. So again, knee centered, pull it back, Try not to let it come out in front. Try not to let it come out to the side. Pull it back, stay centered, and feel that stretch on the front here on the quad. Again, using your breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And relax. Good. Okay, and that's it for our session today. Thank you very much for joining us, and looking forward to seeing you in the next session.